Hi, Danton, thank you. All right, so I had a really cool work conference in Amsterdam, and I was like, this is awesome. I need to go spend some time there. I can't just go to this conference and leave. So my buddy Mike and I decided to go a little early. So we get to Amsterdam, and we're doing our thing. We're seeing the sights, you know, the famous canals, and people are riding bikes and all that amazing stuff. But then at the same time, we're walking down the street, and you know, every block and a half, you encounter a guy who comes up and he's trying to hawk his favorite thing at that moment. And because, you know, pot is pretty much accepted there, they're hawking more intense things. And it was always this changing language, you know, like just random words I would hear, wouldn't understand what's happening. But then I realized he was trying to find out which language you spoke. So it was cocaine, cocaine, heroin. And then once he saw that I spoke English, he's trying to like give you samples or something. I don't know. So this is the sort of world, this dichotomy in Amsterdam. So my friend and I obviously wanted to do some things in that spectrum, maybe. And so we got a different hotel that wasn't part of our conference group, and it's next to this like Irish pub, and then the Banana Show, which you can kind of think about whatever you think that is. And so I remembered this iconic location. We go to a cafe, and I got something that was called a space bar, which was like pound cake with these green flakes in it. And I gave it a try. And I remember the guy behind the counter, this big Russian guy, looked really intimidating, but he was like, "Have a nice day," and just, you know, gave this away like it was nothing in this cafe. And you know, I'm a novice. I don't know what I'm doing here. And so it's not working. Nothing's happening. My friend and I are getting frustrated. So we decide we gotta double down. So we go to a different cafe, and we get something called Purple Haze, and we try that, and we don't know what we're doing, so we're just like trying and just again and again keep taking more of this stuff. And so then time goes by, angry, and then all of a sudden things start escalating. And at that moment, I remember that I started floating, but I was frustrated because I was only floating about 4 inches above the ground. And I was like, why am I floating, but just 4 inches, really? And so I'm so frustrated. So we're going all over the place. And I even remember this urinal. It was an outside urinal where like the height of the urinal was right here. So when you walked in to use the urinal, I could see all of you. And that was a real urinal. I remember seeing it earlier, being like, who would ever use that? Now I understand. And I, of course, use it, drop my phone, and I had the common sense, even in that state, to be like, that's not my phone anymore. And I let it go, and we kept going. We were doing all sorts of crazy things. And there's a purple light district, by the way, which you've probably never heard of, but it's like the crazy fetish shit district, like really insane area. We see that, all the other things. And we end up in this alleyway that's like a famous alleyway for all the red light windows, and it's super tight. It's like this wide, and there's windows on both sides. And I just, you know, I got to know like what the price is at least. I got to ask the question. I'm curious, and so I go in. We're walking. It's so crowded, and it's almost like these two whitewater rapids of people where they're like flowing in opposite directions. So like everyone's like trying to get by. And I see a door that's open. There's no curtain closed. So I go up and I knock on the door. She opens it. I go in, and I talk to this person. And as I'm talking, this guy just grabs me, and he says, "Shit or off pot." And it's a big Russian guy. He obviously didn't recognize me, but he just pulls me off, goes in there. 2 seconds, the curtain closes, so obviously something's happening there. But as this was happening, I realized my friend Mike is gone. He went with the tide of this whitewater rapid, and he's like disappeared down the alley. I can kind of see him. So I try to go towards him, but he had come out the other end of the alley, and he's coming back. And somehow, despite this being like this wide, it was so loud and crazy, and he's like got laser beam focus on this door that he thinks I went into, that we go by each other, and I'm just like, Mike, you know, like he's right here, and he just keeps going, and I can't control it, and I keep going this way, and so I end up all the way over there. He ends up out there. I actually had to get out, like I made my way all the way out, come back in, go past. I get out to the other side. He's gone. He's not even waiting for me. I'm so pissed. I feel like I'm miles away from anything, and then I see the Banana Show, and I'm like, okay, I'm home. I can at least get to the Banana Show. Sorry, not the banana show, my hotel. Of course. So I go to the hotel, and I pass out, and I wake up, and it's 3:30. Not 3:30 in the morning, 3:30 in the afternoon, which sounds crazy enough. And I'm like, I missed my whole conference. I'm going to be fired. But then I realize, no, it's 3:30 the next day. And my friend Mike is in the room. And apparently, we both went to the conference. And no one noticed the entire time. And I don't remember any of it. And so that's definitely not safe for work. Thank you.